Welcome to Gardening Plus with Joy and Healy. We are two coast to coast gardeners sharing our beyond the basics experiences, intermediate knowledge, and advanced antics. Watch the Chiron at the bottom of the screen for info. Oh my gosh, for important information, and feel free to exchange ideas, tips, tricks with each other in the chat. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Joy. My co host, Healy, will join us shortly. If you haven't caught our last live, we had special guest, the Kamakura gardener coming from Japan. That was a super awesome chat. I hope you can go back and check that out. Today is April Fool's Day. It's April 1st, whatever that means. Luckily, my kids don't get up to any antics, at least not yet. They haven't planned anything that I know of. So it'll be a chill chat, no main heavy topic today. Healy just came back from a stint with her family in Louisiana, so she's still recuperating. She does not want to have to do heavy research either. So I did Google just some April foolishness in the garden type ideas, and so I'll go through those if we have time. But yeah, mainly I'd like us to just share the foolish things we do in our garden over and over again, because what would it be if it wasn't gardening? I know I was thinking through what in my head what I was gonna list out, and I got a couple, and there's definitely one, the first one, that stands out for sure. But first, let me properly introduce myself. I am Joy from New York, Zone 6B. Last frost date about mid-May. Some places say earlier in May. Others, earlier. There's nothing that says later. But I know for sure, for a fact, they can still snow, right around Mother's Day. So I do trend to put my summer annuals out like closer to the beginning of June. I utilize all manners of gardening styles. I have in-ground beds, raised beds, containers. I do a lot of indoor growing because I don't have, or I need that extra time. And I have a flock of chickens. I've recently counted them because I usually just eyeball it. They seem to all be there. So it's okay. But I finally counted them, and I had to count them multiple times because I was like, really? I have that many? So I have 14 chickens. 14, 2 are roosters. There, that's the final number. The current weather is so nice. It has been so difficult to be inside. We are coming up on Easter weekend. I am hosting this year's Easter lunch, so I'm supposed to be inside doing all the things. But I just want to take advantage of this nice weather. So, I've been cleaning the garden, planting a few things, but I've really had to make my list and make sure, okay, you have this much time allotted to gardening and this much time allotted to the house, which is so difficult. And I thought it was going to be rainier, or at least be crummier weather, because that's what the app says. It's going to be raining every day. And I've gotten a drizzle of 30 seconds, and that was it so far. So, of course, but obviously, we're going to get through it. It's going to be a great weekend. It's going to be a good week. I'm going to be exhausted, and life will go on. All right, let's see if we have anything to go through. Nope, not really. Until Healy comes up, I am going to, I guess I can go through a list of seeds that we can start, or I'm starting now. Where's my list? I usually leave it right here. And now it's not here. Why is this always happening to me? So disorganized. Healy said that I was the organized one, but she lied. I am not the organized one. I know where it is, in a pile with some other stuff, but I can't get up now, can I? Let's brainstorm, shall we? All right. I definitely need to seed. What do I need to seed? I I don't really need to seed anything. I need to up pot, that's for sure. And if we have time, if Healy is going to be doing some outdoor stuff, I might, as she's talking, I might do some up potting on video. I have to up pot my basil. I have to up pot my tomatoes. And what else do I have down there? There's ground cherry. I've already up potted the peppers, so they're fine. And there's like fennel. The artichokes are still tiny. This is the second round of artichokes, so that's going to be a while yet. I'm not sure if that was a good idea to even start them this late. I'm really drawing a blank. I need to go through my seed and audit again to see which ones are coming up. I'm in the beginning of April, so I have 6 weeks for the final frost date planting time. So that's when a majority of things get sown indoors anyway, the 6 weeks mark. So I'm going to hold off on things like the squashes and the melons until the 4 week mark. But for the 6 week, there's a bunch of stuff I could still sow. I think all my tomatoes, no, except for I think one variety didn't come up. So I have time to resow them now and, have the plant ready for planting date. And then there's a bunch I could be doing still that I haven't really I've been off the ball pretty much. But there's definitely, once I look at the list again, it'll just revitalize me and I'll be on the roll again with too many plants. What I have done, which I've been poor at in the past, so I'm getting better, is I planted out my lettuce, my second sowing of lettuce. The first batch fizzled out. So this is the second batch. And then I'll do another batch no, I already did. I did it yesterday because I was antsy. So I already put the seeds in yesterday for a third succession. But I planted out my lettuce, and also there were some seedlings of beets and spinach, which are commonly said that you should just sow them out. But I've seen plenty of people who sow them indoors and plant them out, and they do just fine. So whatever. But I've also seeded those things too. There's also radish. Yeah, radish has been seeded. And I think that's all I've seeded so far. But the idea is that I'm going to get out like my brassicas. I have the broccoli, the cauliflower. No, did I do cauliflower? Broccoli. I think I did cauliflower and cabbage. I have those. They're just getting their true leaves in. So I could put them out, or I could wait. But usually I would wait till they were bigger, like sizably bigger. But I don't think aside from the pest pressure, I don't feel like I should have to wait that long to put them out. The idea is that I'm trying to get space back in my growing room, because usually it just is full to overfilling, and I have nowhere else to put plants. But I'm doing better with getting stuff out earlier so that I have room for the next succession of things. So I'm very, very proud of myself for that. All right. What do we have? We have no harvest. Healy might have something to harvest. What do I have to do here? So I was thinking, what's coming up? Coming up also for me is my seedling sale that I do. Usually it's been around Mother's Day. That's when there's been a yard sale at my in-laws, and I can put out a table, and that's been great. But this year it's super late. They're not doing it till June, which the weather would be nicer at that time. But people aren't looking for plants then because they've already bought most of it. So, but luckily I found out about this other bigger, huge, kind of cost me money yard sale over in by the waterfront or something like that. It's a big park. So I made that investment. So this is why I'm being super serious about the plants and making sure they're healthy and bigger. Like last year, I overdid it. There were too many plants. They did not look good. So obviously I didn't make hardly any money. But this year I'm really trying to level it up, trying to have healthy looking plants, bigger plants, so that I can charge more for them also. And I'm also leveling up my pots, but that will be for a future show and tell for that. What else? So yeah, so that's gonna be May. So that's earlier May. That's even before Mother's Day, which is good too, because a lot of people wait till Mother's Day. But if they see plants and if it's a nice day, hopefully, then they'll buy it for me instead of waiting till Mother's Day. Let's see. There's another place. Well, no, this isn't for selling, but this is where I buy. That I forgot to look up the whatchamacallit, the cooperative, the extension, co-op extension, has a plant sale every year around May, early May, or maybe late April. I haven't looked, so it's around there. That's where I buy plants that I typically don't grow, and they're already grown. So I'm still looking for lovage because the lovage I planted did not make it. Hellebores, because the plant I planted got, I don't know, stepped on or something, because shenanigans were happening out there and they did not look where they were going. So I have to replace my hellebores. Just general plants that I don't normally do myself, or bushes or fruits, that kind of thing. That's what I'm looking for at the at this plant sale. Plus it, supports the county and stuff like that. All right. What else? Oh, and I'm going to do another show to celebrate my 1,000 subscriber that I've reached. So, yay! Now, typically it doesn't mean much if you don't have the watch hours to back it, which I do not, which is fine. It took me a long time to be fine with it. Because, you go through the levels of, what am I doing this for? I'm not getting paid. It's taking up so much of my time. But I love doing it. I like sharing it. And that's all that really matters. So whether I ever make the watch hours is not really that important. What is important is that magic number of going out over 1,000, I feel, not necessarily true, but I feel like it opens more doors as far as others seeing you as a legit, creator, someone with some kind of influence. It doesn't seem like much, but I think it is. But anyway, I've reached out to at least one company that I wanted to support, and they've said okay. So that's going to be an announcement for another day. And generally, I am looking for products that align with, obviously, my values. Plastic free. There's a company that I like, but they're so expensive, so I don't even want to talk about that, because I'm not going to push that on people, because I don't really want to buy from them half the time. It was just like this one thing that I bought from them. There's got to be another option, right? So I'm just going to keep looking. And yeah, so that's the road I'm traveling now that I've reached this milestone, is that I'm looking to partner up with companies that have products that are good, that people are familiar with, but maybe they can go in this direction versus the usual that they usually go, because I want it to be more sustainable. I want a sustainable garden, sustainable life for everybody. And it will generally be, gardening related. All right. Well, I was hoping Healy would be here by now. I've run out of things to talk about. Imagine that. All right. Well, while she's not here yet, I will go through what I pulled up from online that I called garden foolishness. So garden foolishness typically refers to common mistakes, overconfidence, whimsical behaviors, such as planting early or too early in spring, trusting helpers that aren't helpful, and more importantly, failing to learn from past mistakes. That one, I think we're all super guilty of. Let's start with premature planting. We get so excited. We get so bored of winter. We get so antsy, but we tend to, put things in the ground that it's not their time yet. The soil is not warm enough. Even if the so-called frost date, expected frost date, average frost date is passed, if your soil is still under 2 feet of snow or just frozen, don't put your, warm loving plants out there. Certain plants, sure, but not the tender ones. Like, even I spoke about this like 2 lives ago, using phenology, which is using nature cues to tell you when to plant stuff. One of them is daffodil blooms. My daffodils are in bloom now, first part of April. But I know there's going to be some super cold weather in between now and May. And I'm not putting out my tomato plants now. No way, no how. That is just disastrous. And yeah, because if your leaves get burned, then they don't have the ability to photosynthesize, and then they're done. Or they might not be done, but they're going to be way set back because now they're going to have to re-establish themselves, and it's going to take weeks. And I don't have time for that. As it is, I don't get tomatoes till like late August. But obviously your rooted stuff, low-lying plants would be fine even with a big freeze. And I also don't want to go out there with your sheets and your covers and this and that and having to monkey around with that either. It's in the, like, I planted a few beds that I did, and I have, enough covers for them. But that's why I don't want to like go all around the garden and start planting stuff that I'm going to have to babysit. All right, next one is trusting the wrong people for your plants. So there's a story called Gopal the Gardener. I believe it's a Middle Eastern story. So it's basically a man, a gardener. He's a gardener for another gardener. So he's like the handy guy. And there's like a fair he wants to go to, but he has to tend the garden. But there are monkeys. There are monkeys in this story. And the monkeys like to mimic. So he has trained the monkeys to do what he does, which is water the plants. But he tells them only if the roots need water. So he leaves for the fair. He leaves the monkeys to do the business. And the monkeys are looking at the plants going, do these need water? Do these need water? And so they're like, I don't know. Don't we have to check the roots? So they start plucking the plants out and checking the roots. And you know what that means. The gardener comes back to no garden because all of them have been uprooted. Because the monkeys didn't quite understand what the heck this human was telling him or them to do. And obviously, there goes that garden. So that's one of the, what is it called? Folklores that exist out there. There's, I'm sure, different versions of it from different countries. And yeah, like you can trust people with your pets, trust people with your house, or you can trust them with your plants. You can't have it. It's the, lucky, what is it? What's that story? Goldilocks, if you can have all three of those. All right, repeating mistakes. That is something I'm definitely foolish to do a lot of. Like a plant fails in a specific spot in the garden. I keep planting it there to see maybe this year it'll be better. Or I don't cover the plants from pests. Maybe this year they won't come. They do. Or I don't consider that this plant needs more nitrogen or this plant needs less so that they have fruit or roots instead of just leaves, or just even fertility in general. Fertilize. You should fertilize, especially if it's containers. Containers are not going to hold on to anything for very long. So you got to really be on it. They have made it so that you are going to have to spend that money and actually use the product. So that's one of the big ones that I'm still learning, is to be consistent with fertilizing and letting it go. The plants need it. You just have to do it. Other things are maybe planting invasives, or not necessarily invasives, but things that take over. Invasives, you think, like kudzu or something bad. It's gonna devour your whole garden or something. But I just mean, like, let's say mint. Mint's classic. That spreads, and people are, still insist. Oh, I'm just gonna plant it over here, and then the next thing it's over there. Instead of just putting it in a pot, just put it in a pot already. And there's plenty of other plants that are also like that they'll just, their seeds just fly around and you get them everywhere. But if you've heard people say, put it in a pot, maybe you should put it in a pot. Or if you don't like that above pot look, you can dig it out, put a pot in the ground, and then it's still in the ground per se, but it's contained, That's what I did with my, is it my comfrey? Not my comfrey, my stinging nettle. Because stinging nettle will root where it touches the ground, like your berries or something. Because I've taken snippets of it to replant somewhere, and I've left some on the ground because they were tiny and I didn't see them. And then the next thing I know, they've escaped. So I know. Oh, so I have them in a bin, but I buried that bin because I didn't want to see that ugly bin. So I had to I dug out a grave pretty much, because it was two bins next to each other. So that's about like 5 feet long and 2-3 feet wide. It was a lot of digging, and it looked like I was digging a hole in the ground for other things than these bins. So if you ever need a body buried, find yourself a gardener. Yeah, so I buried those bins because I didn't want the plant escaping. Let's see, what else? And treating certain pests. Granted, you want the natural wildlife to take care of it for you. But some places that wildlife isn't there yet, or it's taking its time, or if you're in a balcony somewhere, you're not going to get that. So you're going to have to treat those pets yourself, organically or otherwise. What else? Something called architectural follies, which is building structures that, just look pretty, but have no actual function, right? Form over function. They don't actually function in your space. They're just there for ornamental reasons, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But, you should be strategic with how you're spending your money and how you want the garden to serve you in the long run. And then, I'm not going to delve into that because I'm not good at architectural stuff. I am normally just piecing together what I can find, whether it's sticks or stones or some leftover fences. I've bought fences, sure. And even that I couldn't do like prettily. I just stuck it in the ground and walked away. I'm not the pretty type of gardener. All right, and last is called psychological obsession, which is the harmless madness that overtakes all of us, gardener or otherwise sometimes. So these are, repeated mistakes, like planting out of your hardness zone. You just got to push the boundaries no matter what anybody tells you, and you're going to fail. I mean, sometimes you don't, but a lot of times you do. Like this one isn't specifically to this, but I bought the miracle berry in Florida, and I wrapped it up and got through the airport and everything, and I got home and I planted it, and it looks dead. I haven't gone out in there and actually dug it up or anything, but it hasn't shown any life. And other things that I have planted that I bought are doing really well. So I can't be that terrible of a gardener that plant shouldn't have made it. But I think that was more that plant is just super finicky, and it maybe got too dry. I don't think so, but I don't know. It was just not, maybe it was not a good time for it to be, it wasn't dormant per se. So it wasn't a good time for it to be transplanted. It could have been a myriad of things, but I'm super sad. I spent a lot of money on that for it to not have, for it to have failed. Let's see. All right. The biggest, so my personal foolishness, my biggest one is I overwintered some peppers, and I've overwintered before, but I overwintered a whole bunch this last fall. And I wasn't particularly, I mean, they lost their leaves, but I wasn't particularly great at cleaning them up. I didn't give them the neem bath that I usually do. So now they're riddled in aphids. Yeah, I think it's aphids. I could be white mites. They're riddled with something, and they're spreading to other plants, even the baby plants that are in the basement. Because in my up and down, I'm bringing the bugs along with me, I guess. So that's the biggest nonsense that I've experienced this year, is that I didn't clean up my plants from the outside well enough and then introduce them inside, or I didn't quarantine them to just have their own space. And so now I'm dealing with this extra pest pressure, and now I have to spray and blah blah blah. So that's super bummer. But I mean, the plants will be fine. They're strong. They'll survive. But it's just unpleasant. What's another one? Well, this one can't really help a lot of, but fungus gnats. They're always they're always making it in. And I'm not a fan of cooking my soil. I'm just not. You'd have to do it in small batches, like over a whole day, pretty much, for the amount of soil I'm using. So I'm just like, that's not practical. I have the sticky traps. I have sprays. So we'll just deal with that, with how that is. What was the other nonsense the foolishness that oh man, now I can't remember. This is what happens when I don't write things down. What was it? I think it was the fertilizing. I'm still, learning. I'm just not on a schedule. I know there are the people who are on a schedule, and then you don't have to worry about it. And then there's people who's like, is your plant telling you it needs fertility? So I'm pretty much in that camp. But at the same time, I'm like, it'll be fine. So my plants, some of the times, are still, looking sad. And I'm wondering, why does it look so sad? And then I'm wondering if I'm over fertilizing, because there's this container that I have that's looking terrible. None of my other plants look like that. And I've used the soil that it's in there. I've used in other things. So I don't know if it's, already had fertilizer in it. And it's a lot more soil than the like little cups I make with the other stuff. So I don't know if it was like it already had fertilizer and then I added too much fertilizer and that's burning them. Or if it's the little bugs that I found in that soil, which could have come from another plant into there. Yeah. And then what's another one? Outpotting. I used to be terrible. I'm not going to say used to, because it's just now that I'm getting better at it. But I'm terrible at outpotting, and, realizing that the roots are getting strangled, and I should definitely do that and take the time. And that's another reason why I've cut back on the number of plants that I'm growing, because I want to have the time and energy to do the uppotting and the space, because the bigger the pots, the more space they take up. So I did eggplants early, sometime in February, because I know they take a while, but they're doing so well. They look so good, other than the aphids. And I have potted, and I think that really helped them. And so now they're too big. It's like, crap. Now I planted them too early, because I'm used to them in the past, in the little cups. They're just like, so sad looking. And so I thought I needed all that extra time for them to grow up. But apparently it was just because the cup was too small. So now I have, this dilemma of these large overgrown plants taking up. Oh, I've moved them, actually. I moved them to the upstairs room, because there was no room for them under the grow lights. They were touching the lights, and it was just a mess. So luckily I have the space to move stuff around. Yeah, those were some of my foolishnesses. Oh, where's Healy? I was hoping she'd be here by now. Um, well, I was gonna do this. I mean, so I have. Hold on. So I have basil here that I was gonna up pot, and I'm using my cell phone as my camera slash microphone, so it might be, not as good quality. But I don't want to do this while I'm waiting for Healy. So what do I do? Oh man. All right, I'm gonna remove myself and just do this up here. All right, I don't know why the connection is not as nice. So I have Genevieve's, and they didn't all come up. And then I'm not sure what these are. I think this is lemon basil, but I don't remember what else I planted because I didn't specify on the label. Good job. All right, I will periodically check in to see if Healy comes in. So I'm still using my Italian ice cups. I really like these, but I will up pot to a bigger container once they get up. Oh, yay! Shoot, hold on. These back.
Girl, happy
Woohoo!
happy April Fool's Day. The day has fooled me.
Ah,
It, April 1st has gotten me today.
you're all right. You're all right. Just glad you could make it. I was dying out here.
No, I saw that you look like you're getting ready to do some starts. Are you up potting? What you got
Yeah,
going on?
I was gonna up pot while you were. If you were out in the garden, I was gonna up pot.
And that was the plan. I wanted to do that, but I just no.
Okay, okay.
I really wanted to do that because I wanted to get some work done. I was thinking that it would motivate me to start getting some work done in my garden because I uploaded that one video showing everybody how my yard looks right now, how the backyard shenanigans garden looks after being away for a month. That brings me back to one of our topics from last year when we talked about, you know, being away from the garden due to
Right.
either, injury, vacation, whatever absence, and then what you have to do when you come back. And I looked at my garden and it is so overwhelming. And I am going to get to it. Today was the plan to try to tackle the tree size weeds. But like what's those military commercials, and they say, we do more before 9 a.m. than most people do all day. That's how I feel today. So I'm gonna sit here inside and I am going to watch you make progress in your 2026 garden while I just try to catch my
Oh,
breath. Hello,
all
everyone. How
right.
y'all doing?
Well, why don't you reintroduce yourself since you missed that part?
I did. I am HealyMeans. I have a small backyard garden, mostly container and raised bed, and I'm in Southern California, zone 10B/11A. I've started reusing some grow bags. I have a lot of fruit trees and plants in containers. I was away for about a month. I went home to Louisiana. So I live in Southern California, but I'm from Southern Louisiana. So I went away for a month. There were multiple heat waves during the time that I was gone. I'm thankful that I did not plant a garden on schedule or per normal schedule because everything would have been dead. Um, I'm coming back and slowly getting my way back into things and my rhythm here, back at home. But yep, that's me. I'm only on YouTube. At HealyMeans. I'm a multi content channel, so I do some natural hair stuff, some gardening stuff, some electric vehicle stuff, unboxings, product empties, that kind of stuff. So, if that's your jam or if you're interested, check me out.
All right. Oh no, we are on private. It says on here private video. Can you do can
Oh,
you
wait, because it says live 36 minutes.
but it says I can't comment. Can you
Hold
add a
on, let me
comment?
let me see. Oh, but you're right, it does say
Oh no.
private.
No wonder. I haven't seen anybody.
YouTube doesn't support comments on private videos.
When did it when can
Uh,
I change that? When did that happen?
this says
Oh.
recording hasn't started. Please stay in the studio after the show to finish uploading your recordings.
I think that's something else.
Yeah, something is not. It says recording hasn't started, but it says live 36 minutes, 57, 58, 59 seconds.
Well, I guess that's part of the foolishness that we're dealing with.
I
What?
know, right? This is part of the
Right.
April Fools, the foolishness.
Oh,
And
I found it. Okay, can I change it now? Nope. Can't. I don't think so. Bummer.
let me see.
So now I can't change it and now. It's too late for that.
But
Well,
it says, so you know what? Hold on. Let me go to your channel. Let me go to your YouTube channel
hmm
and see if
yeah, that's
to
where I
see if
failed today. Is I didn't
I
check
see.
my phone because I was setting up for the planting.
Yeah, let me see. No,
Well,
you know
people.
what? No, it is live because I'm looking at it on my television.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There are
Let
people
me
watching. So
yeah,
why
let me
can't you
see.
comment?
Yeah, because I turned it on my television first.
Hmm. Is it something new? No, that's not it. Well,
Join
I
the
set
conversation
something
to
up.
interact with the creator and others watching the live stream.
Well, if anybody, nope, I tried to share the StreamYard, but it wouldn't let me. So no one else can come up on there.
I wonder if this is something new because StreamYard, you notice how they changed
The
their
logo,
logo.
yeah.
Oh wait, hold on, here it is. Nope.
No, I think it's just something I didn't push in the beginning when I was setting it up. What are you looking at?
So in YouTube, I can comment,
Oh,
but
but
from
it's not
StreamYard, I
in
cannot.
StreamYard. Oh, great. Any comments on there? Because I can't see anything. And I don't want to turn it on because I don't want it to block the signal or some weirdness.
So I have a StreamYard window that I'll have open, and then I've muted the YouTube window,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully I can follow the chat in there. Um, Let me see. I'm waiting for it to come up again because now the YouTube chat has disappeared. But I think um it's just gonna take a little bit
Yeah, the delay and all.
for the live chat to come back. But I did see it.
All right, I'm gonna do doing this.
This is the shenanigans though.
That's right.
This is the shenanigans. And if you
All
excuse
right.
me while we do this live chat, I haven't eaten yet today.
Oh no.
And April 1st, I'm starting all kind of like new stuff today. And
Oh
I need to eat. Because I'm starving.
yes. That's the worst thing to do is to starve yourself.
Okay. And you know what? That's an exaggeration. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say starving. I should just say very hungry
Hungry.
because
Yes.
I haven't eaten yet, except
Right.
for this one piece of egg that I just stuffed in my mouth. So y'all excuse me. I know that it's not proper unless you're doing a mukbang. I know it's not proper etiquette to eat
Right.
while you live streaming or eat while you doing a video, but
Hey,
y'all,
those
I'm hungry.
that content makes a lot of views.
I know it does. How many of y'all so does anybody here subscribe to any mukbang channels? Or have you done that? Like is that something that you enjoy?
Not particularly. I know I'm supporting one person who does it, but I generally skip those videos.
Yeah, so somehow I'm not even sure how I got connected to this one person. And it was this lady, so she used to do
Garden?
mukbang videos on her lunch break.
Oh.
And so she would go to, so and so fast food place or whatever, because it was her lunch break, so she had to go somewhere quick.
Hmm.
And she would sit in her car and eat her food and discuss whatever topic, she wanted to talk about. But the constant smacking and just like the slurping and the sloshing, I
He
couldn't do
loved
it.
it.
I couldn't do it. Hi, Miss JK Gardner. I see you in the chat.
Hi, Miss JK.
Shane
Hi, Shane.
Des- Decia. Shane. I see G Mama Grows.
Hi,
I
G
see
Mama.
MJ Knack.
Hi, MJ.
And I think that's all I see. Thank y'all so much
Yes.
for being to enjoy his live stream today. This is definitely April shenanigans. If you all have any April shenanigans to share with us, either from today already or from previous April 1st, let us know. And Joy is going to tell us a little bit about what she's doing because she's diligently working while I'm running my mouth. But
Oh, I need you to
let's
run your
let's check
mouth.
in with her to see what she's doing. But if you have some April 1st shenanigans, type them in the chat and I'll read them in a little bit.
All right. So this is basil that I'm up potting. I forgot my fork, which is how I normally prick these out. But I'm making the best with what I got. So I've got some two and some just one. Then I'll double those up. Oh, and
So
so I
are these
need
things that you
these.
multi-sold and now you're separating and up potting them?
If there were more, if there was more than two, I would separate, but I want the two together. And so
Okay.
this is for like my seedling sale.
Mm-hmm. So when you sell, so your seedlings, when you sell them, do you normally have two seedlings per container?
I like to, yeah, so that
Mm-hmm.
it's not a complete failure once it gets home.
You know what? That's very considerate of you because everyone doesn't do that.
True.
Everyone doesn't do that. It'll be one plant per container,
Hmm.
and fail or success, you have that one chance.
Right.
So I'm sure a lot of people appreciate that you give them at least two chances.
Yes. And I don't even charge enough. I'm gonna try and be better with charging more.
Hmm. You know what? I don't know if you've already displayed your prices for your upcoming plant sale with these, but I mean, this is the new season, new year. This might be, an opportunity to just bump it up a bit.
Oh, I gotta. There's a
Hmm.
war.
The prices of everything are ridiculous. And what I need right now is more soil to top off my raised beds.
Yep.
And I'm waiting for the big box stores or even my local nurseries to have their garden sales, the spring garden sales. I need soil and the sales are not happening. Now, I just watched one of Jay's videos. I forgot Cali J. I forgot the exact name of his channel, but he's been going to stores, and I didn't catch if it was big box stores or local nurseries or what, but he's been going to stores and buying like the damaged bags, the busted open bags,
Yeah.
partially filled bags, whatever, and he's been getting like significant discounts, and that's how he's been purchasing the soil to fill up his raised beds. So still getting product and getting it at a discount.
Right. I've only managed to do that one time. It was a small retailer that had the
Hmm.
bags. It wasn't one of the bigger outlets.
G Mama says, my shenanigans have led me to take seedlings outside now. I still have 45 days until my last frost date. G Mama, I'm telling you, I don't think it was on April 1st, but it was shenanigans for me. It's probably been 5 or 6 years now that I attempted to start my seedlings inside. And I had done it maybe like 2 years in a row. I had zero problems. It was like that third or that fourth year. And again, the third or the fourth year was about 6 or 7 years ago. I had, it must have been, I don't know, the Armageddon of gnats
Oh,
and the flies and all, the fungus gnats and all of that kind of stuff. I will not grow anything inside. I barely have plant. When I bring plants home, sometimes I will go outside, just go from the driveway, like to the side gate to the backyard. Like I don't even pass them through the house to go to the backyard. I don't do any planting, germination, start, see, I don't do any of that inside. Everything is outside. Plus the fact that my dining room table had just been turned over to the garden. Um, but yeah, those shenanigans, I do everything outside now. And Shane says inflation is crazy these days. Stock up now, and you're
yeah,
absolutely right.
definitely.
And whatever you buy today is just going to be more expensive tomorrow. And here I am saying how I want to wait on the
The
sales
sales.
and stuff like that. I might be waiting for something that never comes.
Right.
So I should buy today because tomorrow, next week, next month, the price is going to get higher and higher. And even if all of these things that's going on right now are resolved, it's still going to be residual
Mm-hmm.
time frame, before things get stabilized.
Yeah.
So even if everything ends today, April 1st, it could be this fall or this winter or next spring before things stabilize. They
Yeah.
don't just cut up and, cut on and cut off. Like we see, like with the gas prices fluctuating, one day gas is $90 a barrel, or crude oil is $90 a barrel. The next day it's $105 a barrel. And then the day after that, it's $87 a barrel. You don't see the gas prices at the gas stations go up and down like that. They go up and they stay up. The average price of gasoline for regular unleaded in my area right now is over $5.50. So I know California as a whole, we still have the highest gas prices in the whole country, and it's due to the taxes.
Mhm.
It's the taxes. It's the state government that makes everything in this state so much more expensive. When you can cross the border, north, south, or east, and the gas is a full dollar something cheaper
Mhm.
per gallon.
Right.
So things fluctuate up and down, but it's a residual effect. So I'm 100% agree, stock up now. And whatever it is that you're stocking up on, it doesn't have to be garden stuff. It can be,
Food.
yeah, whatever it is that you need, whatever it is that you use on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, whatever that is, stock up now.
Yeah, definitely. The flour is big for me because I need flour a lot. So I stock up on that. And then ramen because my kids like ramen.
Yeah. Miss J.K. Gardner says, my thing is going back and forth between my garage to outside for hardening the cool crops and leaving them out too long. Joy, you have any tips on that?
Oh gosh, I'm playing that game now where I'm in and out, in and out, in and out. But we've had some nice nights, so I was able to just like leave them out. But then I worry about there's mice like here, so sometimes they like to just make a mess of things just for the fun of it. So I have suffered that where I've left something out and the mice have killed something because they're just curious. I try to keep things close to the door because a lot of the stuff I have to like schlep all the way back to the basement because that's where the space is. So I've had a difficult time of hardening off in the past. A little bit better this year. I had a fig that I was overwintering, keeping it in a pot this time because outdoors I've had minimal success, zero success with fruiting. So I was really hoping that, it stayed alive over the winter, and now I'm acclimating it. So it's also been in and out, and it's more hardy so it can stay out a little bit more in those colder nights. Yeah, I can't say I can help really.
Is it kind of like a trial and error thing? And
you just got to remember. And I have like a covered porch, so I wait till it's, for the beginning, I wait till it's the sun is on the other side of the house, whichever side that is, or you use your north side of the house, which is shaded already. So that's how I start them off, is in the shade. And then as the days progresses, then I give them, some sun. If it's one of those cloudy days or a whole week of cloudiness, then it's like score, they're out all day, all night. If it's, temperature's good, then I don't worry so much of like sunburn if it's a cloudy time. So that's what you really want to hope for is a cloudy stretch.
Well, Joy, Shane has a question for you. Joy, what are you drinking? You can tell us if you can tell us if it's an adult beverage. We won't tell.
It's not. It's just lemonade. I used to drink out of like the kids. You get the cups from some place or other. I like that cup. That became my cup. And I'm like, this is so childish. Let me get a real cup.
You get the cup, yeah. So. I have my water bottle here, my trusty old water bottle. And then I have some tea in here. I'm kind of on a tea kick now. I did my my trail walk this morning because trail walk Wednesday.
Yes.
And I think I'm gonna try to get back to trail walk Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or at least my YouTube video exercises on Monday and Friday, and then Wednesday will be the trail walk. But I keep my water bottle with me. I don't have a special little cup or whatever, but I do. I have this. So
G-Mama usually I also drink kombucha. I drink kombucha that I make quite when I'm on the other lives is what I've been drinking.
That's good. I like kombucha. I do. I like kombucha. I had bought like the SCOBY kit. Where they give you a dried SCOBY. They give you everything that you need.
Yeah.
Except for the water or the tea or whatever liquid, you're gonna use. And you know what? I think that SCOBY kit is still in my garage somewhere.
No.
It's still in my garage, somewhere. And so the question is, how long does a dehydrated SCOBY live? Can it just, Is it like food storage? When you're doing long-term food storage and
Right.
you have, like, the dehydrated meat and the dehydrated strawberries, and all you do is, just
And
rehydrate them and it's good to go. Like,
it
y'all
could
tell me,
be.
let me know in the chat. Like, do you anybody have any guesses? If I ever find that SCOBY kit, if I ever find it, I'll put it somewhere and then I'll bring it on a future Gardening Plus live.
Okay.
It might be next April, y'all, for the shenanigans. And when I tell you, I have had it's at least been double-digit years that I've had that SCOBY kit.
Wow.
It's somewhere in the garage. It is somewhere in the garage.
Well, if
Yep.
those sourdough, whatever they are, the yeast things can last years. Like people have saved
Hmm.
those for a long time. So I'm hopeful that that would also work.
See, you never know. But I do like kombucha, and I mean, now it's sold almost everywhere. I usually
Mhm.
buy mine from Sprouts. I remember when you could only, get it from like Whole Foods and stuff like that.
Right.
But now the local grocery stores sell them,
Yeah.
all different flavors. They make them with, everything now. Apple cider vinegar, with
Yeah.
teas, with all different kind of drinks. So I like them.
Yeah. I flavor mine with mango. I like mango.
Hmm. G Mama says it's gonna be difficult to rehydrate the SCOBY, but it can be done.
Okay.
Yo,
There you go.
if we can bring that thing back to life,
It's alive.
we all gonna win some money. Like, I'm a Guinness Book of World Records for, the longest dehydrated SCOBY brought back to life or something.
It'll be like in 1,000 years, the aliens will come and find Healy's Scobie.
SCOBY.
It's
Maybe they will spare me, from the invasion just because of that dehydrated SCOBY. Y'all, this is obviously April foolishness, April shenanigans. Y'all go ahead and put your shenanigans in the chat. I'll read them up for you. My garden shenanigan is that I literally have not started my garden yet. It's April. As I mentioned before, I am in Southern California, zone 10B11A. We do literally have a year-round growing season, 365, 366 for the leap years. And I usually start stuff. Well, when I say start, because it's a continuous thing for me, but let's just say, like, start new year things. Um, Maybe February 15th, March the 1st is when I say I'll start new stuff, but I have things growing all year round. I sow seeds in January, I sow seeds in December, November. I sow seeds all year round, but I kind of count my new year, new spring season, like February. Yeah, I would say February.
Mhm.
But I haven't done that. I haven't done that. Um, I had got on this fruit tree kick and the dragon fruit kick, blueberries, like everything except the fruits and vegetables. I was doing all of that. So I got caught on that. I had a couple of trips home to Louisiana, and I am so glad, y'all, that I did not start my garden before I left, because I left the very beginning of March and I just recently got back. So I was gone, for a month. But there were multiple heat waves here in California, especially in Southern California, multiple
Right.
heat waves, and whatever I would have planted, seed sown, whatever, all of that stuff would have dried up and died anyway. But I'm back trying to get in my groove, and I've made some garden purchases. So I have Vago garden beds, and I recently purchased the mesh cover system. So not
Nice.
the cold hardy one. I don't need that one. This one
Right.
is more for like the insect cover. So I purchased two of those. I have the frame set up, but not the mesh cover. I'm gonna do that soon. I purchased some of the magnet plant marker, so you can stick them in the soil if you want to, or they're magnets, so you can stick them to the side of the raised bed. And it was something else I purchased. So I kind of been purchasing like gadgets and tools, like things not like soil or plants or seeds or whatever like that, but just kind of gadgets and tools and accessories that'll help me.
Right.
But y'all, I have so much work to do. I don't feel right even putting seeds in my starter trays without tackling some of these weeds and stuff first. Y'all check out that video. I was shocked because that was literally my first time going outside. Like, we saw it together. Well, I mean, I guess technically I saw it before you because I had to edit and upload the video, but the shock and the awe that you heard in my voice and saw in my face, it was real because that was my first time going outside. You know what, Play? So Play says, I don't need the mesh cover. Let the lizards eat the insects.
Yep.
You know what? Those lizards need to like get up on their game because I'm seeing too many insects. Yo, one thing that I have to tackle this year, the ants. I have to put out my bait and my traps or whatever it is that I'm going to do to manage these ants. Last year was the very first year that I would say I had an ant problem.
Mm.
I never had issues with ants before, but them and the aphids, y'all know the ants and the aphids, like
Yep.
two peas in a pod. And the ants really caused me some issues last year. So I want to try to get ahead of the game and just implement some treatments or some tactics, some methods, some whatever. And I need to take care of the ants. Play, you can have all the lizards. You can have, because you know what, y'all. Okay, there's some more April foolishness, some more backyard shenanigans. At first, when I would come outside and get even halfway close to them, they would run away. Now they stare me down. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. The lizards stare me down.
Wow.
I said, you know what? There's one in that video running away. But what y'all didn't see was that he crawled back around like towards me, but you couldn't see the way I had the camera angled. Between the lizards, the ants, and the hummingbirds, who must have like kamikaze dive bomb training.
Right.
I don't know if I'm gonna get anything done in my garden this year.
Oh. They're trying to get to know you. I got my
That's
thing now.
yeah, they getting to know me all right. They getting to know me. They trying to get to the point as scaring me. Speaking of scaring, some more shenanigans. Now y'all know, who knows what my number one nemesis is in my garden every year? If you know it in the chat, Joy, don't say it. If you know my number one nemesis every year, let me know. Put it in the chat. Let me know. Yo, it's one reason why I have to make sure that I get a certain amount of stuff done, like kind of get things going. Excuse me, y'all. Try to get things going before a certain time period, because then my nemesis will show up and show out, and I'm running inside. Mike, well, G
Hey,
Mama
Mike.
says ants. No, not ants. Mike raised his hand. Mike, what is it? I know Mike know what it is. He knows it is. I have incurred injuries because of these things.
Yep.
I'm gonna give y'all a hint because Mike ain't typing yet. He's saying hi. Oh, he was saying hi. He wasn't raising his hand to answer the question. He was saying hi.
You strong hand.
Yeah, these things, I don't know, how do I describe it without giving it away?
They fly.
I wanted to say that. I wanted to say they fly, but that might give it away. But they fly, and that's one thing. Now, see, if something crawls, even if it runs kind of fast, um, or whatever, like that's one thing. But the flight, when you can fly, squash board, no. So G Mama, so far that has not been um a pest that I had to deal with, and I hate to even say it out loud because it seems like every year I get something new. Aphids are demons, but it's not aphids, and some of them do fly, but they don't. I don't like those. Lantern bug.
That's still an East Coast
No,
thing, I
that's
think.
not. Oh, is that the little brown?
They're
The little
colorful when
no.
they're spotted, black and white spots when they're young, and then they're
Uh-huh.
super colorful with red wings when they get older.
Oh,
It's mostly here for
okay.
now,
I don't have that. So
unfortunately.
I know. So a lot of people mistake them, and so they're called one thing, like on the East Coast, and on the West Coast, it's called something else. No, play. If
Imagine.
it was flying roaches, I would,
She'd burn the house
I
down.
would burn the house down. I would burn the house down with me in it, because I wouldn't be outside with the roaches. No. Mm-mm. I'm gonna
Oh.
go ahead and I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you. It is the infamous fig beetle. So that's what they're called here, on the West Coast and in my area. I think they're called the no, what
June
is it called? It's called a different kind of beetle on the East Coast. But these things are large, because there's a smaller beetle that people normally mix up with the fig beetle, but they're smaller. Oh no, so June bug is like roly poly, right? Is that what June bug is, roly poly? I think that's what I think when I say June bug, roly poly. But these are fig beetles. They are very colorful. They fly in a very haphazard pattern. They fly like they're blind, but they're actually not. It's the sound of their wings, and just the size of them. I can't. If they would, yes, they do. They get in your hair. If they would just, kind of fly by and keep going, kind of like dragonflies do, like
Mhm.
butterflies and moths, like other stuff, just kind of fly and keep going. Oh no, it's not a cicada. It's called a fig beetle. I wish I could upload a picture.
It
Let me,
looks a
oh
lot like
no,
the
I can't, because
June bug.
the private chat. But here, like they're called fig beetles, but they're colorful, they're large, they fly, they eat, I mean, and fig beetle, because they attack soft bodied fruit.
Mhm.
They'll also get soft bodied vegetables too.
Oh,
See, yeah, people do eat cicadas, but the play that, no, not
really?
me. I can't stand them either because of their noise, and I don't like the way that they shed and leave their
Oh.
exoskeleton out. I just, you know what? Stop tricking me. Stop April fooling me, because now I think it's two or three or five of you, but really it's just one, and then you just left your exoskeleton like all around. Like, stop with the April foolishness.
Ah.
I wish I had the strength to, like, or the courage to step on them. I go outside now, y'all, and that's one reason why I bought, like the garden hat with the netting.
Yeah.
So I have that. I have the Zapper tennis racket. I haven't used it yet, but I bought that. I have a fly swatter, you know. I mean, I go out there with like security guards. You know what I'm saying? We and I don't know what it is. Everybody has their thing, and some people say, "Oh, just leave them alone. Don't worry about them. They'll fly by." But they never just fly by and keep going. They fly, y'all, and then they circle back. It's like a boomerang. They just go out and they come back. And I am so paranoid of them getting caught in my hair because they do. They fly in your hair and just I can't. No, y'all, I can't. I cannot do it. Mm-mm. So that's my number one nemesis. If it was ever some kind of like trivia or giveaway question or whatever, it's the fig beetle. I cannot. They shut me down. They do.
Cicadas. I like cicadas, but they don't come around very often. They're like every 20 years or something. Like there's a plague of them. But I don't mind the cicadas. I don't mind those big bugs. It's the squishy, slimy ones that I have problems
That's the one, yeah.
Like even snails, I can tolerate because they have a hard part that I can hold them by and toss them somewhere. But the slugs, forget it.
But the slugs, yeah. Y'all put in the chat. What's your nemesis bug or pest in the garden that you just can't deal with it? Let us know. And yeah, so tell me more about the lantern flies because I'm not familiar with. I've heard Joy talk about it before, like mentioned it last year, but I'm not familiar with lantern flies.
Let me pull up a picture.
Do they like destroy crops and stuff or?
What is it? Grapes. They like grapes at the moment is like their main, but they can be a nuisance to other things. Let's see.
And I'm trying to y'all know my vineyard. That's my two grape plants that I still have not uppotted. Let's see. Ooh.
Right. And they are fast and they jump and they're just obnoxious. It's so hard to kill them. So hard. And they cluster, which is the worst part. I hate anything that clusters.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, too much like grouped together.
Yeah.
G Mama says mealy bugs. I can't stand them.
They group together all the time. So yeah, they're awful.
So Play says, so the lantern flies, they're pretty. They haven't eaten your plants yet. So hopefully it stays like that. They don't eat your plants. That would devastate me though. That's what some people call them, Japanese beetles. That's the other name for them. But Japanese beetles are much smaller than fig beetles. But some people call fig beetles Japanese beetles.
Okay.
And we don't have, or at least I haven't seen in my area Japanese beetles, but those fig beetles. I'm hoping that we have less this year because there's a tree on the other side of my fence where I think they used to like breed and, live and sleep and all of that. And somebody cut it down. So that's one less place for them to live. And I don't have a lot of stuff in my garden yet. I'm hoping that the caterpillars, the larvae are not in my soil. I tried to sift as much as I could, but I mean, you can't sift everything, and sometimes you miss the eggs or sometimes you miss the larvae when they're very small. But I try to kill as many as I can. I was thinking about doing like the juice in a jug, like cutting a gallon jug at kind of like the 3/4 or the halfway mark, and you hang it on the fence or tie it to a tree or whatever, and you put just maybe like 20% juice and 80% water, just enough to lure them with the smell like of the sweet, and then they'll go in that jug. But you have to be careful with that because if they weren't in the immediate area, you kind of attracting them to the place. So of course you would set it up so like if I grow everything in my backyard, I would set this up in the front yard. Would that make a difference? I don't know. I kind of don't want to do anything that would attract them,
right?
But when I see them, I want to kill them, y'all. Can we say the K word? I'm talking about pests. I'm talking about pests and bugs. Gardening
I know. Jeez.
I want to.
Miss J.K. Gardner can't stand slugs. But the stink bugs just get on you and won't get off. They last throughout the year. Never seem to go away.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Yeah, the stink bugs all year long are in my getting into windows. I'm like, why don't you die in the winter?
So G Mama Grows is talking about the beneficial nematodes. I have another April Foolishness question. We're talking longevity again. How long do beneficial nematodes last in the refrigerator? You know how you buy it and it's the powder, and you know you have to combine it with water to activate it, and then you spray. So how long, y'all? If you have them in the back of the refrigerator, they ain't been messed with in the original box, so no light touching them, no humidity or nothing like that, y'all. About how long you think they might last? Where I can mix them with the water and bring them back to life and use them. Oh, G-Mom said 3 to 6 months.
That's good. No, I think
might be just a little. I might be just a little late. So, if a person, if a gardener, perhaps purchased them in 2023.
Holy crap. Oh, no.
Is there any chance? Is there any chance that, you know, that gardener may be able to get even 1%? This person is not even asking for 100%. What is it possible that 1% of those beneficial nematodes could have survived? I mean, I'm just saying prime conditions. I'm just asking a little April Foolishness.
Well, even if it did survive 1%, you're going to need a lot more than that for your garden. So go buy some more.
I'm just trying not to have the purchase be, you know, a total waste. Shane, you're right. That's about where I'm at. That's about where I'm at. And G Mama, I know they live in organisms, but I mean, you know, they were shipped in powder, like they shipped in a dry form. And I'm thinking like the coolness of the refrigerator would slow down like their bodily functions, almost like a cryostasis kind of thing. I mean, y'all help me out. This is April Foolishness. Y'all help me. I'm just trying to say, y'all know I'm hashtag waste not, want not. I gotta try to get something, you know, from out of this. So between the SCOBY and the beneficial nematodes, come on, y'all, help me out.
Somebody go declutter Healy's house so you can find these things. Hibernating.
Okay. So G Mama said I could test them on white paper with water. Straight lines, not alive. Crooked lines, still viable.
Cool. G Mama.
Now, when you talking about straight lines and powder, we talking about the beneficial nematodes. We talk about gardening. We talking about. Come on, y'all. April Foolishness. Laugh with me now. Come on now. I'm almost finished eating my omelet. Mike got the straws. Because we ain't using no dollar bills. We ain't using no Benjamins. We ain't using that. We not using that. So for the people in the chat, let us know like your state and your zone, or at least your zone if you don't want to put your state. And let us know if you started your garden yet. Like, what are you still growing like cool season crops? Or you switched over to the warm season crops? I saw Broke Farmer put out his stuff on Watermelon Wars. Who's participating in that?
I don't even
let us know let us know what you got going on in your garden right now on this April 1st, 2026.
I can only ever grow those little hand-sized ones, so forget it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. And it's such a pain to like protect them from those squash borer type things. It's too hard.
Now, do you grow your melons in the ground? Do you grow them in raised beds, grow bags? Like, how do you grow them, or where
I've
do you grow them?
I've done it in the ground and I've done it in a container, and I get
Mm-hmm.
like one fruit. And it's tasty and all, but it's just like all this work for one fruit.
Mm-hmm.
One little fruit at that. So I'll keep doing it because I like to, but it's not. It's one
I'm
of those
gonna try.
foolishness.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. My 15-gallon um nursery pot stand.
Mhm.
I have 20-inch pots in there, and I'm gonna try watermelon and cantaloupe and a pumpkin. One each
Mhm.
container. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna, you know, sow like two seeds or whatever, and just I'm gonna see what happens. So 20-inch pot is about a little bit less than 14 gallons of soil.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens. I think I picked some of the smaller varieties of the cantaloupe and watermelon. I'm gonna try that. So Mike says he's in zone 4 Minnesota, not until after Mother's Day.
Mhm.
And then G
Definitely.
Mama zone 6A Ohio already started seedling. Shane 6B only started indoors. And then players in 7B indoor seedlings. Now I talked to my dad when I went home to Louisiana, and he is in 9B now. I think it was 9A and now it's 9B, or it was 8B and now it's 9A. And he said it used to be, like clockwork. They would start, around March 15th, or
Mhm.
something like that. But over the years and years, the weather has changed. And he said, they are waiting until after Easter, waiting later in the
Yeah.
season, before starting the stuff outside. I
Yeah.
think it also depends on exactly what you're growing.
Mhm.
But if you are starting plants that are cold sensitive, at all, especially if you're doing everything outside, it's best to wait later.
Yeah.
Because there was a cool front that passed through after he would have normally sown seeds and planted and started stuff outside. Thankfully he didn't, because that cool wave or whatever came through. I think people was calling it like fake spring or
Mhm.
something like that. It was a cold snap that had came after it already started warming up. And he's like, nah, that's all right. I'm gonna wait. Miss JK Gardner is Baltimore, Maryland. 7B still have garlic greens, strawberries, carrots, and potatoes. I want to grow small melons and started indoors already. Yeah. I think most people, if you're in the cooler climates, most people have started indoors,
Yeah.
whether it's a basement, a dedicated room in your home, a dining room table,
Yeah.
have started. Or if you have the little kind of portable greenhouses, the little mini greenhouses where you can start stuff indoors, or even if you have a little greenhouse set up outside, that might be possible. I have a greenhouse thing outside. I use it more for storage, than anything else.
Yeah, that's true.
I do 99% of um my growing is from seeds. And because I do everything outside, I tend to sow little bit later, even though, like I mentioned, I sow seeds year round. But I don't know. It seems I still shift things to the right. And for me, that kind of started in 2022. I remember that specifically, 2022, because that's when we had hurricane, or by the time it got to us, it was tropical storm Hillary.
Mm.
And the extra moisture that it brought screwed up the entire year. And ever since then, I started having more problem with pests. The weather just didn't seem quite right. And so just generally everything seems to be shifted to the right in my area.
Hmm.
How are things? Has anything changed for you, Joy? Just, like over the past 5, 10 years, anything kind of significant that you noticed?
I've only been here 5 years, so all I've noticed is that there's more pests because I'm inviting them over here, basically.
And that's
So
the more food you grow, you're like, man, the first couple years I didn't have
exactly.
any pests. I hardly had anything.
Yep.
And now you see them like waiting with like the fork in one hand and the spoon in the other,
Yep.
a plate between their legs. Like, where is the food?
Yeah, they're
Where
just
is the
camping out
food?
now. They're just, they're just in the
Mm-hmm.
soil. Yeah, but well, if this year was any indication, it's definitely super warm, like
Mm-hmm.
compared to past, winters so far. But there's still that. It's still a whole month left, so it could still shift completely.
So what is your weather like today? Like right now?
It's in the 60s, yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
we had sun most of the day, but it's pleasant. It's really nice, and the
Is
bugs
that
aren't.
average? Is that like on par for the time frame?
I I can't say for sure
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like it should be rainier. I feel like the rain that they said should be here, it should be here, but it isn't. So I feel like we usually have a wetter April,
Mm-hmm.
so it's a bit drier
Well,
than I was
dang, Joy,
expecting.
it's only April the 1st. Can you give the weather some
Oh my god,
time?
that's true.
Yeah.
I'm feeling
Can
like
you
it's
can
so
you can
warm.
you give it a little bit time?
It's
April
so warm.
showers bring May
Yeah,
flowers. Is
exactly.
that still true? Is that just still true? Like in some is zone 4 and 6 and 7 and stuff. Is that still true in your area? April showers bring May flowers.
Definitely helps.
Yeah, I mean, because here, by the time April comes, we've already gotten like 90% of however much rain we're gonna get for the entire year. By April, if we don't have it by then, we're not getting it. So November through February is our rainy season. We do get some showers, maybe one or two in April, maybe one in May. June or July are just completely zero unless there's some kind of storm off of the California coast coming up from Mexico, or
Mm,
maybe even out from Hawaii coming across the Pacific. But we can go, 7, 8 months, sometime 9 months with zero rain here. So when November through February, we really, like look for that rain.
mhm.
And sometimes we get it and sometimes we don't. I think it rained a decent amount in November maybe, but December, January, February, I you know I don't know. We had like a lot of rain for like a couple weeks that almost caught us up on our water tables, and then it's like the rain just stopped.
Mm.
And we have some reservoirs that are still low, so I think that's gonna affect us, coming up this year and this summer.
We had
Mm.
a very good, I say, winter with the snow load. So I'm hoping because we've had, yeah, droughty. Our reservoirs have been low the last few years. So I'm hoping we're getting some back this year.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't like mud season, but I would prefer it. I think I'd rather not have to water all my plants by myself by hand. I'd rather have the sky do it for me. So I'm
Oh my
hoping.
goodness. Yeah, Mike said he getting snow
Oh
now
yeah, it's
until
like, ugh,
Monday. What?
that's terrible. Minnesota. Blech.
What about the squirrels, Mike? What about the squirrels?
You didn't pay your squirrel tax to help them get rid of the snow.
I don't know. Those squirrels probably inside with Mike. They come right up to the door. They come right up to him and get their little food. I think he showed a video. I think one was like knocking on the door. He was.
Probably.
Those videos are the cutest. So Miss J.K. Gardner says last year we had a very wet month, and April was dry. So was it last April was the very wet month, and then now is dry?
Where is she? Maryland?
Yeah, I'm hoping that we get, yeah, Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland, 7B. I'm hoping that we get some rain this year because those heat waves, it almost like tapped us out, in March. And we haven't even
Man.
gone, barely spring. We haven't even gone into the spring really, let alone like the summer and the summer heat. And we definitely, because it was multiple heat waves. It wasn't just 1 or 2 days of extreme temperatures. It was waves and waves of extra hot and extra dry temperatures.
Right.
Okay. Oh, she says, oh, April was dry and May was wet.
Oh, okay.
And see, it's supposed to be April showers bring May flowers. That's not for us because we have May gray,
Oh,
June
June
gloom,
gloom.
where it's overcast for May and June, and then we have July fry
Yeah.
because it's just hot. It'll go from overcast to just blazing ultraviolet heat rays, like somebody just didn't like us like the whole way. And of course that sets us up for the fires, and then you do have
Right.
some watery mudslides. So
Oh, yeah.
all of that stuff going on. Not thankfully not in my area as much as some other areas, but just because it's so much you know stuff going on like that, that was another reason why I decided to kind of transition my garden to containers and raised beds, because I was growing in the ground, and our soil here is very clay. It is like rock solid clay mud,
Mm.
and then like bricks,
Wow.
like just adobe clay brick, like where you need a what you call a little drill thing, like
Jackhammer.
yeah, to like break up concrete. That's what that's what you need. And even though, I mean, I gotta be honest though, I had a lot of success growing in the ground, but I don't know if I was looking for more or if I just didn't want to bend down that far. Like, I don't know what it was, but I decided to transition everything to raised beds, containers, kind of raise my growing space, up off the ground. It's helped my back.
Mm.
It's helped me with some pests. But then I just get new pests. So, you know, but the raised bed in the container garden, like I said, I've pulled out my grow bags because I've had those for a while. I used them and then I didn't, and now I'm kind of using them again.
Mm.
Hmm.
So is the soil in Southern California different from middle and northern? Because like they grow
Yes,
grapes and
yeah,
they
yeah, I think
got the
so. And then
triangle.
also too, the closer you live to the coast,
Mm-hmm.
the soil will be different. But even in individual neighborhoods, like if you live in a neighborhood where it's close to an industrial area, I feel like the soil is different. Not just because, it's possible that like chemicals and stuff from out of the factories and the buildings and stuff could leak into the ground. I'm not talking about that, but the physical makeup of the clay
Mm-hmm.
or the soil itself is different. If you go into the valley areas, to me, those are some of the most prime areas for good native soil without you having to constantly
Amend.
amend. I
Mm.
mean, you'll always amend, but I mean, like, constantly have to fix problems. It's just
Right.
that you have to maintain the soil that's there in the valleys. And it's probably because if you think about it, like sediment and everything, like up high from the mountains or the cliffs or whatever,
Yeah.
that stuff, settles down into the valleys, and it's very, very fertile.
Fertile, right.
Yeah, but that's not where I live. So raised beds it is for me. I'm still waiting for my local nursery and these big box stores to get their soil and stuff on sale, y'all. The April foolishness, come on now. Y'all remember it used to be like even February, definitely by like March 1st, all of the stores had, the soil, the seeds, the seedlings, like all of that stuff used to be on sale, the fertilizers. You used to be able to like rack up. So by the time you did start your garden in March, or your outside garden, I would say, in that early part of March to mid-March, you already had all of your supplies because the sales had already run.
Mm.
Here it is April 1st, and the only thing that I see on sale at the big box stores in my area is that dang fake mulch. Nobody wants that.
That's
$2
why
a
it's
bag.
on sale.
You got red, they got black, they got brown, they have whatever green. I don't want that. And that's the thing that's always on sale. It is always on sale. That and the 0.75 cubic feet of Miracle Grow potting soil. Yo, why
Yeah.
is that? Those two things are always on sale. Always. $3.33 a bag or $3 a bag for 0.75 cubic feet. Yo, let's get some garden math going here.
No.
Nah. Mm-mm.
Too many beginner
Mike said he
gardeners.
doubt there'll be many sales this year. You know what? And I agree with you. Just based on the most recent previous years, but also because of stuff that's going around in the world, that affects us. And this stuff that's going on, I think the first and the most thing people think about is the oil prices and gas prices. But if you realize how many things and how many industries that crude oil touches,
Mhm.
whether
Yeah.
directly or indirectly, it's a ripple effect on everything. And they even tell us in the news, about the nitrogen based fertilizers. But if you think that, the phosphorus and the potassium based fertilizers not affected, they are too, maybe indirectly, where the nitrogen based fertilizers are directly, affected. And when they talk about that, they talk more in terms of like the big farmers, industrial growers, commercial growers. But that stuff still at some point, will trickle down to us.
Mhm.
So, I'm stocking up. I'm looking for sales. I'm checking the clearance aisles, you know, because I'm a frugal gardener. I'm not cheap. I am not cheap. I am frugal. I'm checking the sales. Um,
Seems like nothing I like is on sale.
it,
Wah.
that's what I'm saying. If you want that fake mulch, and they have pallets and pallets of it in the front of the store, on the side of the store, behind the back of the store, in the parking lot. Nobody wants that.
Uh, oh, I know
Well,
who makes money. Who wants those? The HOAs. That's what those are
that,
feeding. 'Cause they
there
can't
you
grow anything. You just a mulch.
that's I have an HOA, y'all.
You
April
do?
foolishness. I have an HOA, and I don't even want to get into it, but
Yeah. That's a
it
whole.
was not something that I just, but time and circumstance and situation,
Yep.
that's what happened. But my next property will not have an HOA. Absolutely, it will not, because I still don't see where my money is going.
Right.
I really don't. And y'all, we talking about, well, you know what? We talking about gardening. So part of the HOA fee or whatever is supposed to go to landscaping.
Mm-hmm.
I see them do the same little nitpicky work, probably maybe every 2 months. They send contractor, people out here to play like they are like edging the grass. Oh, sorry, y'all. Hold on. They send people out to play like they're edging the grass, putting down more of the fake mulch. We have the
Yep.
brown.
Yep.
faking like they're, edging the bushes. But I mean, it's stuff that's so, if each homeowner, like cared for that section of the property in front of their homes, that's all we need. That's all we need. But they take our money, y'all, and every time I write that check, let's get off of this because
Getting her blood pressure rising.
blood pressure. Let me drink some water. No, you know what?
Cool down.
Let me switch over to the tea.
Calm down.
Let me calm my nerves.
Oh, what's bothering me now is it's allergy season. We know with the trees budding up. Oh man, I was outside yesterday. I'm good today, but yesterday was blah. I was miserable after I came in after a couple hours, just running, dripping down with the wetness. I'm like, what the heck? And then the ear itches, and you can't scratch it because it's in your brain.
Anybody have any tips or any kind of suggestions or recommendations for different allergies? Oh yeah, Mike. So Mike, he said, full of sticks in a bag. That's another thing. So you buy these, you thinking, oh, I'm gonna get a deal. This is a 2 or 3 cubic foot bag of soil, garden soil, pot mix, whatever the name is, because even the labeling on the bag, if you turn it over and you look at the ingredients, the potting mix, the raised bed soil, pretty much have the same thing. The topsoil and the garden soil is almost the same thing. You're looking at the ingredients and you're comparing, but one of them is, I don't know, $12 a bag, and the other one is, I don't know, $6 a bag. You're looking at the ingredients and they almost the same thing, but they have different, they get you with the colors, the fancy writing, the cursive writing of the name and all of that kind of stuff. But you open a bag and it's full of sticks. I think I did a video. It's probably been 2 or 3 years ago. Y'all see that red and white bag of Kellogg's? What's that, garden? Is that garden soil? The red and white striped bag. I bought probably 20 bags of that altogether. And I think that's 2 or 3 cubic feet because I was like filling raised beds from scratch. I think I had a 8x4 double stack, and then I had 2 4x4s. Y'all check the video. That was like many years back, but I was like, you know what? Let me just sift one bag. Whole tree branches, glass, plastic, screws,
Lots
nails.
plastics. Oh wow.
I had a sign, a piece of like a not a street sign, but like a piece of a sign in there.
Wow.
I had rocks, just all different types of plastic, soft plastic, hard plastic pieces, colored glass.
Now, what burns me is black cow. It's supposed to be manure, and I get a lot of sticks and rocks. And I'm like, why are you feeding these cows? Why isn't it just poop in here?
Feed the cows rocks. Oh, it's to help their digestive, to help them, the 18 stomachs that they have. They need the grit like earthworms. So we're going to feed them some rocks. No. We're going to feed them some sticks. I mean, a little glass don't hurt a cow, Yeah, you wonder. So I've never used black cow. I remember though, like years ago, black cow was like the gold standard of, what to use. And then some gardeners started, saying how, man, the only thing I changed was that I used black cow and, nothing grew or the stuff started growing and then it went back, then it failed, or whatever. Some pretty, I'm not going to say famous, but like some pretty,
notable.
What you want? Yeah. Gardeners, in the garden community share their experiences with black cow. And I was like, did they, I don't know, like change the formula or change the process of what, because it was a lot of people, it was around the same time. A lot of people were saying the same thing. And it seemed as if they had some kind of way changed the process that they made the the black cow,
Mm.
or like, like you said, maybe they fed the cow something different, maybe not rocks and twigs, but that definitely, was in there, but it was affecting a lot of people's gardens. So I see black cow on sale sometimes, not as much as I used to, but it only takes for a company to, have one experience like that, and people, you see the pullback,
Mhm.
and it takes a while for people to kind of go back. I see more and more people using black cow, now,
Right.
but for that time period, it was like all the rage. It was all of the garden gossip, y'all. Black cow, April foolishness.
Well, Mike says, was the cow eating Walmart bags? Because that's what I found in my last bag of it. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. And that's I see, just like Miss JK said,
yeah,
yep,
I
I
sift.
sift.
Mhm.
Yep, I sift
Yep,
my
yep,
soil
yep.
too. Or what I'll do is, if I have, let's say, like a 17-inch raised bed that I'm doing for the first time, like filling from scratch, and I put, all of my wood on my, well, I really don't have wood blocks or
Stick.
branches or tree trunks or whatever.
Right.
So, but whatever I have, I put that at the bottom. I may take maybe the first couple bags of whatever and just put it in there, because I know it's going to be at the bottom. But
Mhm.
the soil that I have in the top 6 to 8 inches, sometimes 12 inches, y'all, it depends on my motivation for that day. But at least the top 6 inches, I will sift all of that soil, because I don't want that stuff in there. Because if you think about it, most often, if you're not direct sowing seeds, you're transplanting seedlings, and they
Yeah.
still, the roots is still kind of delicate. I don't think that they can really take, having to push through Walmart bags, street signs, bricks and rocks and glass and stuff.
Right.
So I sift that stuff out, the top, at least the top 6 inches, sift
Yeah.
that out, to try to give them a better chance.
So
Yeah, see, and it was my last bag.
they're
Yeah.
pretty much selling us the mulch as
Yeah,
in the bags of soil.
that's what I
Because
just
that's
want to
what.
know, like, what are these companies' definition of soil?
Right.
Like, what is it? What is the texture of soil to these companies? Because I'm thinking soil is almost like, sand to flow through your fingers, not
Mhm.
for you to catch objects and
Right.
artifacts and articles. It's supposed to just kind of flow through your
Mhm.
fingers. Not exactly like sand, but you know what I mean. You shouldn't have sticks and rocks and
Right.
bricks and bags and stuff in there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely quality control is not a top priority.
I don't think they care though. I don't think
Mhm.
they care as much as they used to. I mean, and especially, around 2020, when a lot more
Yes.
people
Yeah.
got interested in gardening.
Mhm.
I feel like around that time, 2020, 2021, 2022, the quality definitely took a
No.
turn,
Yeah.
because the companies know, hey, we have a lot of new people coming into the space. They might
Mhm.
not be exactly sure, what to expect, or know what's good, what's bad. Let's set their expectations
Right.
with these Walmart bags and, tree trunks and all of this stuff. And people think, oh, well, hey, I guess that's just what it is.
Mhm.
And let me, I'll just use that and do what I can. Well, guess what? All of those people that just came into the space recently in the past 5 or 6 years, we're not beginners anymore. We're not
Be
falling for the
smart.
okey doke. We know what to look for. We know, we shop around, we compare prices, we look for quality. And sometimes you have to pay for quality though.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
but we understand that. If we didn't before, we do now. We understand that. And, we getting hip to the game.
Finally.
Mm-hmm. Cause I know the coins jump back in my purse many times. If I don't do a price check, my coins just don't even, the zipper on the purse seem like it's locked. Like the zipper is stitched closed and locked. It won't even open if I don't compare prices. Or at least do some kind of, in-depth work before I purchase, the person is like,
I do that with some other things. Well, I've done it with soil too. Yeah. Like the nurseries around here, they definitely upcharge certain because they're the premium soil sellers. But if you can get it directly, it could be cheaper. If you can get it from Amazon, even it could be cheaper. So sometimes you just gotta look
You know
around.
what? So have you purchased soil from Amazon? I mean, like 1 cubic foot bag, 2 like how does that work with the shipping? Is it still free shipping?
Well, I happen to have Prime because my husband's company thing, but so for me it's free shipping. Yeah, but I'm sure it probably isn't super free when you just got a regular account.
Yeah, so I have Prime, but I've never really thought about purchasing soil from Amazon because I'm specifically thinking about the shipping. But if I can order,
Well, you
3
ordered
cubic
20.
bags of
Right.
whatever soil, and the shipping is free, you know what? I'm down with that. Y'all let us know in the chat. Anybody buy and not just soil, like the big bags of perlite
Yeah,
and
that's what I've gotten.
stuff like that. Do you buy things like that from Amazon?
Yeah.
And is the shipping free, or does it depend on, the seller? Um, because Amazon plays host to a lot of companies that
Right.
just sell through Amazon,
Yeah.
and you can get a good deal, but then you have to pay for shipping.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm the kind of person, even if the price comes out the same, when I see that I have to pay shipping, I
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
even if, Amazon price plus free shipping equals the seller's lower price plus shipping, as soon as I see a shipping charge, y'all, I'm clutching pearls. I'm clutching neck wrinkles. I'm just,
Right,
I
right.
can't, y'all. I can't let it go.
No, it's a
I can't,
barrier.
I can't let it go.
I see
But
it.
that's something that I'm trying to be more aware of, especially when I say that I want to support local business, or I want to support small business, or, something like that. And these small businesses, they can't afford the free shipping,
Right.
all of the stuff that the big box stores and that these large companies can afford. They can't afford that. So what I do, because y'all, sometimes I be crying,
Nope.
I say, let me see if I can make this one purchase. So I'm still supporting that small business, that local company, because I want to see them succeed. I do.
Sure.
And I understand that they at a disadvantage. I want to support them, but y'all, times is tight. Money is just, by the time I get paid, it's not even in my hand and then out. It doesn't
Right.
even touch my hand. It just flies away into the ether, and it gets eaten by the bill monster. So I'm, paying more attention to my purchases, still, trying to support local, trying to, do my thing, trying to walk the walk and not just say this and that. I'm trying to actually do it. Remind me of a Bible verse, but I'm not gonna go there. So let's see. Joy, what's popping in the chat?
Oh, let's see.
Let's see.
I'm like,
Oh, Play says, seriously, I'm an average gardener at best, but what I do is just take the soil from the bottom of my sloppy compost pile
oh, okay.
and add that to my garden beds.
Mhm.
I always get something for my efforts. And
Gotcha.
that's true. That is true. All right, y'all. I have another question from a person that, let's just say they're a gardener. And let's just say that this gardener has a cold compost pile.
Mm.
Over the years, this compost pile has produced tomatoes, peppers, white potatoes, parsley, and maybe some other stuff. I'm just saying. I heard this. I heard this from somewhere. When does the compost become ready for use to add in the garden? And how much should that gardener use, like per 2x8 Vago raised bed, 17-inch high? Should it be one shovelful? Should it be a cupful? Should it be a handful? Should it be the top 4 inches of the raised bed?
Right.
Now, I'm just asking in this April foolishness for cold compost piles. What's the recommendation? What's the suggestions from the chat? Joy, just educate this gardener so I can pass it on to this person.
Well, you're gonna have to sift it. get the stuff on top off so you can see what you got underneath.
But what about, how they have the door at the bottom where you can the door and then scoop it up? Because I was thinking, because Play was saying, hey, I get the stuff from the bottom. And most not most, but this particular compost pile, I'm just saying, like, I heard of this particular type of compost, bin where, of course you put the stuff in the top, you have a lid, but there's a slide door, or maybe it lifts up and then you can kind of like scoop out from the bottom, because the bottom is where it should be finished and processed.
Right.
Whether you do hot or cold composting, but specifically for cold composting, All right, Play. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We definitely gonna keep it full. I think this whole month is gonna be foolishness. I think so.
All right.
We appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for joining us.
I think you'll go a long way, a lot farther if you did the compost teas.
So not me, but this person.
Right.
Right. So what? So like scoop some out,
put it
from
in
the
like
bottom,
your pillowcase, and then swish it around in some bucket.
Just put it in like a 5-gallon bucket,
and
just add some water, swish it around.
I think that's what G Mama used to do. I don't know if she's still in the
So
chat.
do you put a lid on the top, or do you put kind of like a netting over the top to keep out the mosquitoes, or do you just leave it? Just leave it open. And
if
then
you got mosquitoes, I definitely cover with a netting.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking too. Because for many of us, I'm not going to say everybody, because I know everybody doesn't compost, but for many of us, we're thinking about, man, I need soil, I need, this, I need that. And we might have some of those things on our property that maybe we're just not paying attention to. Maybe it's just, something off to the side, especially something like a compost bin or compost area, not necessarily a bin, because my dad, for instance, he just has a section of his yard and he kind of fenced it off, but it's not a bin. It's just an open area.
Right.
And his, the tree leaves and all of the things, it's just a pile, but it's open. It's not in a container at all.
Yeah.
But every gardening season, he'll scoop from the bottom. He does turn it every so often, but he'll scoop from the bottom and add some of that, to his he doesn't really have raised beds. He plants in ground. But he does have borders to beds, but he'll just add some soil like that. Some compost like that. And I think that's good. I checked my my little greenhouse storage area. I have 2 of them, and one of them was supposed to be for storage and the other one was supposed to be for active, seed starting and up potting and stuff. Well, both of them are storage. But I looked at them, I unzipped the thing and flipped the flap over, flipped it. But I saw that I had a 27-gallon bag of garden tone fertilizer.
Ooh.
And I was like, man, when did I buy that? But so I have it. We talking about, fertilizer shortages and price increases and stuff like that. So take a look at your property, even if you live in an apartment. You never know. Check the hall closet. Check that the under the stairway closet. Check that, the bottom of the pantry, the back of the pantry, or whatever. You never know what you might already have that'll help you this gardening season.
True, true.
So
Yeah, I have some compost work to do as well. I have the one that rotates that needs to be emptied. I have just a trash can that I've just been filling all winter. It has to be emptied. And then I've got my established compost pile that I need to turn. And then I've got another compost pile that needs to be turned to that compost. So I'm just
not
so
the one that turns.
Yeah.
How do you like that one as compared to like a stationary bin container?
Well, I think it definitely helps with getting everything faster. I think it definitely speeds it up because it heats up and everything, and you come out with the smaller, product versus the stuff that's just getting piled on is just soupy for a long time. But what you were asking for your friend about the how much compost do you use? If you were Charles Dowding and had, oodles of money, then 4 inches over the top, because you don't do digging, would be, the way to go. But for the rest of us who have limited space and, time to be mucking around with our compost, if you could even get a sprinkling over the whole bed, whatever size it is, that'd be great. It depends the size of the bed. So if that's a gallon or a couple of cups, anything is helpful, right? Anything will eventually help that soil get integrated and those bugs in and out of there. But I think you're still relying heavily on like fertilizers if you've got raised beds. I don't think the compost is going to take you very far. Yeah.
That's true. But that's why I'm glad I found it. I mean, because 27 pounds of fertilizer and a garden tone, I know that's one of the kind of like the lower level. I don't know if it's, like a 343 or, something like that. It's not like a 1010 or 16 or whatever like that, but it's still fertilizer. It's still something that will help to feed the soil because it's an organic fertilizer. So it's feeding the soil, whereas the synthetic fertilizers feed the plant. Right. And we know that from just kind of previous talks that we've had on the Gardening Plus podcast. And I know I keep saying podcast because I might be speaking something into existence. But Joy, I'm gonna have to love you and leave you because I have been running my mouth. Y'all, we've been talking for 2 hours, and if I didn't have somewhere to go, of which I'm already late, I could stay on here more. But I just got the text message. The person is like, "Are you still?
Oh no!
Are you still coming?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm on my way right now." Thankfully, they don't watch YouTube gardening videos, so they don't know that I'm still right here, y'all. But I need to take my car back. I need to take my car back to the shop. So the last thing that I need to get done, with the whole rewrap, deal, I have to get that done, and then I need them to look at something that's going on. This is another video that I recorded and didn't upload, but it's not anything that's like gonna stop me from driving or nothing like that, but I need them to check out something, and the appointment is in 27 minutes and it take me 40 minutes to get there. So,
oh, come on. Okay.
Y'all, this April Foolishness, this was definitely a great live stream. Like, I liked it. Enjoy. Just because I'm leaving though, you don't have to stop the foolishness. Oh, you can keep going with it. But
I already blew an appointment because of you. So it's okay. I needed you to get it out.
Mike say he in traffic.
Oh, geez.
Miss J.K. Gardner say, good talk, y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. We really appreciate y'all. And you see, we here to have fun. The April Foolishness, this is a special edition, Gardening Plus, live stream. But we definitely appreciate y'all being here. Please help us by, spreading the word, Joy, I know you have your stuff listed. I don't know if you can put it on the Chiron,
All
but
right.
reach out. Support Joy's channel. She's on YouTube.
There you go.
She is on Instagram. And Joy, tell them where you at, because I'm only on YouTube, y'all. So if you see me anywhere else, let me know, because somebody snatching this, stealing up my little stuff. But go ahead, Joy. Tell us where you at, and I'm gonna go ahead and dip out. I got to love y'all and leave y'all. Have a blessed and a productive April, and I'm gonna see y'all on the next live stream.
All right. See you later. All right. Healy's info is scrolling at the bottom there. And then I will bring mine up. But any video you watch of me, you click on the description or the show more at the bottom there. It'll bring you up to the description, and it should bring up, all the links I have. Not necessarily active. Rumble is just a double for in case I lose my videos on YouTube, which I don't think is a big deal anymore. It used to be, but well, we never know what's going to happen. But I've got Instagram, I've got Rumble, I've got a Facebook group now for Gardening Plus, which I upload these videos into. Other than that, yeah, I think that's it. If you ever want to be a part of the chat, please email me. Email's in the bottom there or on my description. And yeah, this was a lot of fun. Thank you, everyone, for participating. I'm sorry I didn't get to you sooner because StreamYard, I screwed something up in the beginning and I couldn't see the comments at all. Thank goodness Healy saved us from that. All right. Well, we will see you again in about 2 weeks. We should be rolling in on the schedule, hopefully. Yeah, and I should have some upcoming interesting stuff to tell you. And also, I should be doing like a garden tour soon just to see what's made it through this winter. It was a real heavy winter for us. Like, we haven't had one of these winters in a while. So a few things actually made it and a few things did not. So we will go through that. All right. I'm just looking up to see if I'm supposed to cover anything. Nope. I think that's it. All right. So well, harvest more. Bye.